Now, a neo-masculinist pickup artist has bowed to public pressure and cancelled a series of meetups for his followers across Britain, citing safety and privacy concerns. Daryush Valizadeh, known as Roosh V, sparked controversy with blog posts about legalising rape once it's done on private property. The 36-year-old American also encouraged men to date a girl with an eating disorder. Here's some more of what he's said. Women are not at all serving critical or important job functions at a level above men, and society is better off with them not participating full-time in the labour force. He also said systems must be put in place where a woman's behaviour is monitored and to decisions subject to the approval of a male relative or guardian who understands what's in her best interests better than she does herself. So, should Britain ban him? Joining me now to discuss that, Whelan, a writer for Spiked Online, and Kate Smurthwaite, a comedian and activist. Thank you both very much for joining us this morning. Kate Smurthwaite, to you too. I mean, what he says, it's reasonable, it's objectionable, but should it be banned?
Well, we're not talking about anybody being banned from saying anything. He said these things online. If this is the sort of thing you're interested in hearing about, or you want to look at it and see why it's horrible and disgusting, you can go online and see it. We're asking the question, is it in the public interest for him to come to Britain and hold meetings here? And I think it's quite obvious that it's not. And we've got a law that's already in place that deals with this sort of thing.
We have free speech,
it's in the immigration rules, and it says...
Sorry, Kate, but we have free speech, so why shouldn't he come and say it?
Well, but there have always been restrictions on what people can and can't say. There's a big difference, to me, which is very obvious, between expressing free speech and having your opinion and actively advocating violence, which is exactly what his comments about rape do. And he's also said that if any women attempt to attend these meetings that he's trying to organise, that they will be tracked down, videoed, harassed, hounded, and will have their lives made a complete misery. I don't think that that's an acceptable... there's a big difference between making threats and simply expressing an opinion. It's quite clear to me that his presence in this country is not in the public interest, and that's what the law says. It says we can just say no. We use this law pretty regularly to turn down anybody with links to violent organisations. We did it recently with Julian Blanc, who was another guy from this kind of what they call MRA, men's rights activist, and I say that in complete inverted commas as a feminist. I consider myself a men's rights activist. I think we should have more paternity leave and synchronised swimming in the Olympics for the guys, and I'm all over that, but this is not what these guys are campaigning about. They're actually campaigning to do things like legalise rape, and I think that's absolutely obviously shocking and unacceptable. OK, Whelan, you don't think he should be banned from the UK. Why?
No, and I think we are talking about banning him. It's kind of a similar... brought up Julian Blanc, it's a similar situation to Donald Trump. It's someone who shares views who the majority of people in Britain would not share. He's kind of a crass individual, and most women would laugh at him, and most men would not listen to him. There's absolutely nothing interesting about him, and it wouldn't be in the public interest to have him there, but that doesn't mean we should ban him. We should let him come, say what he wants to say, and laugh at him, or if you particularly want to, go to wherever they're meeting up. I know it's been cancelled now, but if it hadn't, you should have gone to where they're meeting up, have your say as well, have an argument with him, and show him up for the idiot he is.
Isn't that a fair point, Kate? That you should challenge these people for their opinions and make them look foolish?
But he's actively said that if women attempt to attend these meetings, that they're going to be destroyed, etc., etc. So I don't think women are going to feel like it is safe to go along and challenge these views. That's very much the point, isn't it? Is that he's actually threatening people. Well, then you haven't read what he said about what's going to happen to women who do go. Or possibly, Ella, you're just not taking rape and sexual violence seriously.
Sorry, Kate, I know it's hard for you to hear because you're outside, but let Ella come in.
I take rape and sexual violence very seriously, and part of that is that I don't see stupid comments like a man like this as being a serious threat to women. Words and bizarre pickup lines cannot encourage violence to women because they're just stupid, and the majority of us really don't listen to them or laugh at them. And actually, I know plenty of women, myself included, who, if somebody was threatening me with violence, would take them on. And I've seen Roosh V, and he's hardly a frightening man. I mean, come on now, Kate.
Katie does speak for a percentage of men.
You're seriously... I find this... I mean, sorry, you're... you're actually saying that it's all right for somebody to be threatened with violence because you would take them on. I mean, I don't want to live in that kind of world, Ella. I want to live in a world where people are not threatened with violence. And it's all very well for you to say that. Oh, he doesn't seem threatening to me. He's not that big a guy. Well, you know, maybe if you were a smaller or less physically strong woman, an older woman, someone with a physical disability, maybe you would be threatened. I mean, good for you if you've done a lot of boxing.
Silly working class women that she sees can't handle her themselves. No, you're talking about patronising normal women. Where your view, you're talking about women being vulnerable and weak, and we're sick of you patronising us. Please back off. Let this guy come.
I'm talking
and we'll take
about
him on,
everybody
or ignore
in our
him.
Society. I'm talking about everybody in our society having a right to be free from threats of violence, and that's not patronising to anyone.
And that right for freedom means that we must have free speech.
Our society safe.
Okay.
The most important freedom is freedom of speech, and that comes with no ifs, no buts.
This guy has free speech. Nobody is stopping him from saying anything he wants to say. What we're saying is there is a regulation in place that already says that people who are going to threaten violence are not in the public interest of having in this country. So.
Okay, Kate, let's just pause this for a second.
People who represent ISIS, and Daesh, and every terrorist organisation around the country.
Sorry, can I just get you to pause for a second? I just want to put a point to Ella that you were raising. Get you talking separately so we can hear both of what you're saying. Ella, some of the stuff that he says, you think, you know, that you can take it on, you can counter it. But a lot of the stuff that he's saying, the messages, the underlying messages, no means no until it means yes. What about these messages being sent to young men in the UK, that they go along to an event like this, they think, oh, this must be all right because I'm here, I'm in a hall, I'm listening to what this guy's saying. He's sending a message, the wrong message to young people in the UK, isn't he? And he should be stopped from sending that message.
The message he's sending is absolutely gross, and you know, rape is a crime, and we deal with it very seriously. I think that he's a completely disgusting individual. We have plenty of people who say things we disagree with. His is particularly quite apparent. I think it's completely wrong and awful and dangerous, far more dangerous than what he's saying, is to say that young men would be influenced by such a view, but they are
just clearly influenced, aren't they, Ella? Because they're going along to his events and he's got 1 million subscribers on the internet.
His following is, in comparison, is very small. It's sad losers on the internet. They absolutely are insignificant. And if they ever tried it on with a woman, they would be slapped back because women are stronger than that. Okay,
we've had a couple of emails today. We asked viewers what you would think about this, what your views are. Hang on a second, Kate. Two emails that came in. I must say that there was a couple of women who said that he should be banned, but we had two emails from men who I thought were quite interesting. One from Richard Clifton, who said, it's surprising in this day and age that it's not surprising that we have people like this around. Western society is so feminised now that men have no real role. They're second-class citizens in divorce, especially with children, with migrant problems, etc., with anxiety against natural predispositions and the hate feminism towards men. Is it any wonder that a counter-surge of excessive masculine principles are going to find a voice? Also, Richard in Somerset said, basically, he thought he should be here because of free speech. So, Kate, do you not think there are some... This is to Kate, sorry. Kate, do you not think that there are men out there in society who feel that there isn't a place for men, young men in society? And that he's speaking to them.
Well, I think that email that you've just read out is incredibly offensive to men, actually, when he says that we shouldn't be surprised that an excessively masculine culture comes out there. Well, if your definition of a really masculine culture is one that wants to legalise rape, then I think we have to question what on earth we're talking about in terms of masculinity. If there are problems affecting young guys, you know, issues around being able to talk about mental health problems, I think any feminist I know would say, brilliant, we have to talk about these things. It's so important and it's so vital. But if the solution to that is to legalise rape, then I'm not entirely sure that that's a solution that actually works for our broader society. What we have to be doing is looking at what's in public interest. And when I keep hearing this thing about, well, you know, we can just laugh at it, we can just make a joke about it. The fact is that rape is a very serious crime. It's not taken as seriously as it should be in this country. I mean, I've been a comedian for like 12 years, and I think it's an important role in society, but I don't think that that is the answer to rape and sexual violence. I think the answer is that we have to absolutely nip these things in the bud, and there's a very simple way of doing that at this point, and Theresa May needs to step up and do it.
Okay, I'm going to have to end it there, I'm afraid. We're out of time, but Ella, you were nodding during Kate's response there, so I know that you at least agree with her on that point.
I agree.
Ella Whelan from Spiked Online and Kate Smurthwaite, thank you both so much for joining us. Keep your comments coming into us here at Sky News.